The contract sat between us on the conference room table like a live grenade. "These are the updated terms," Michael said. "We're standardizing compensation across all senior engineers. This brings your equity down from 2% to 0.4%. I looked at the number. Felt my chest tighten. "You're cutting my equity by 80%? "We're normalizing it. Your original agreement was overly generous." "That original agreement was negotiated when I joined. When the company was 6 people and a pitch deck. And now we're 200 people with $840 million in ARR. The equity structure needs to reflect current valuations." I flipped through the contract. Saw other changes. My IP assignment clause had been modified. Now everything I created, on company time or not, belonged to them. "This IP clause is different. Standard boilerplate. Our lawyers want consistency across all agreements. My original contract carved out personal projects. This doesn't." Michael shrugged. "That's the deal. Take it or leave it." I looked at him. At the smirk playing at the corner of his mouth. At the certainty that I'd sign. Because where else was I going to go? This was my life's work. The product I'd built from scratch. Except they didn't know one thing. I'd copyrighted the source code. Personally. In 2019. Before the company was worth anything. "I'll need time to think about it." Michael's smile faded. "You have until Friday. Sign by end of business or we'll consider you in breach of your existing contract." I stood up. "I'll let you know." I walked out. Started making calls. By Friday, I hadn't signed. By Monday, I'd resigned. And by Tuesday morning, they discovered that their $840 million product couldn't legally ship without my permission. Hey Tangled Yarns family, it's Brett. Welcome to the story of how a company tried to strong-arm their principal engineer into signing away equity and IP rights, and discovered that the source code powering their entire business was copyrighted by the person they just lost. Today's story is about Sam Torres, who joined a startup in 2017 and spent 6 years building the core technology that turned it into a unicorn. And when new management tried to force Sam to accept a massively diluted equity package with a take-it-or-leave-it ultimatum, Sam left. And took the legal rights to the source code with them. Let's untangle this. Sam Torres joined Apex Analytics in 2017 as employee number 6. Apex was a data analytics startup. Barely funded. No product yet. Just a vision for AI-powered business intelligence. Sam was brought in as the principal engineer. The job, build the core analytics engine. The deal, $110,000 salary. 2% equity. Vesting over 4 years. Sam negotiated one specific clause in their employment agreement: IP developed outside of work hours remained Sam's property. This was standard for engineers. Meant they could work on side projects. Open source contributions. Personal tools. Nobody at Apex cared. They were too busy trying to survive. Sam got to work. Spent the first year building the analytics engine from scratch. Proprietary algorithms for data processing. Machine learning models for pattern recognition. Query optimization systems. By 2018, Apex had a working product. Started landing clients. Small ones at first. Then bigger. By 2020, they had 50 enterprise clients. Revenue hit $40 million. Sam's code was the foundation. Everything else, the UI, the dashboards, the integrations, was built on top of Sam's analytics engine. In 2019, during a weekend, Sam did something important. Filed a copyright registration with the U.S. Copyright Office. Copyrighted the core analytics engine source code. In Sam's personal name. Why? Because Sam knew startups were volatile. Knew that one day, leadership might change. Knew that having legal protection couldn't hurt. The copyright was legal. The code had been written using Sam's personal equipment during evenings and weekends. Technically, it qualified as independent work. Sam registered it. Paid the fee. got the official copyright certificate, and never told Apex. Because Sam was still working there. Still improving the code. Still building. By 2022, Apex had raised a Series C valuation, $800 million. They had 200 employees. $280 million in ARR. And Sam's 2% equity was worth about $16 million on paper. Then in 2023, Apex hired new executive leadership. Brought in people from larger tech companies to scale the business. Michael Chen became CFO. His mandate, optimize the cap table before IPO. He looked at early employee equity and saw dilution he didn't like. These early grants are too generous, he told the board. We need to rebalance. The board agreed. Authorized Michael to renegotiate early employee agreements. In March 2024, Michael started calling people in. One by one. We're updating your equity agreement. This is a one-time adjustment to align with market standards. Most people signed. They were scared. Didn't want to lose their jobs. Sam was called in on April 15, 2024. Michael presented the contract. 2% down to 0.4%. This is an 80% cut. It's a normalization. You're still getting significant value. I negotiated 2% when I joined. I built the core technology. And you've been well compensated. This is the new deal. Sam read the IP clause. Saw that it removed the carve-out for personal projects. This changes my IP rights. We need full assignment. Standard for companies our size. My original contract protected personal work. That was then. This is now. Take it or leave it. Sam left the meeting. Went home. Pulled out the copyright certificate from 2019. Called an IP attorney. A woman named Rebecca Singh. I copyrighted source code in 2019. I still work for the company that uses it. They just tried to force me to sign a new agreement that assigns all IP to them. What are my options? Rebecca reviewed the copyright filing. Reviewed Sam's original employment contract. This copyright is valid. It predates any current employment agreement. If you wrote this code outside of work hours using personal resources, it's yours. The company has been using it for 5 years. With your implicit permission. But if you revoke that permission, they'd need a license to continue using it. What happens if I don't sign their new contract? Depends. Do they know you hold the copyright? No. Rebecca smiled. Then you have leverage. Sam thought about it for 3 days. On Friday, sent Michael an email. I've reviewed the contract. I won't be signing. I'm giving my resignation effective 2 weeks from today. Michael called immediately. You're quitting? Yes. Over equity? We can negotiate. You said take it or leave it. I'm leaving it. Sam, be reasonable. You've been here for 7 years. And I'm grateful for it. But I'm not signing that contract. You realize you'll forfeit your unvested equity? I do. Michael was quiet. Then, fine. We'll accept your resignation. Clean transition. No drama. Agreed. Sam worked the 2 weeks. Documented everything. Transitioned knowledge to the team. On the last day, Sam sent one final email. To Michael. To the CEO. To the General Counsel. Subject, Copyright Notice, Core Analytics Engine. Please be advised that the Core Analytics Engine powering Apex Analytics products was copyrighted by me personally on June 15, 2019. U.S. Copyright Registration Number TXU2-168XXX. This code was developed independently outside of work hours using personal resources, as permitted under my original employment agreement. As of my separation from Apex, I am formally revoking the implied license for Apex to use, modify, or distribute this copyrighted work. Any continued use will require a licensing agreement. I am available to discuss licensing terms through my attorney. Attached, Copyright Certificate. Original Employment Contract. Proof of independent development. Sam sent it at 5 p.m. Logged out. Left. The email hit legal at 5:07 p.m. They read it. Reread it. Called an emergency meeting with the CEO and Michael. Is this real? The legal team pulled the copyright registration. Verified it. Real. Dated 2019. Legitimate. How much of our code is affected? They brought in the engineering team. Asked them to evaluate. The answer came back overnight. Approximately 70% of the core analytics engine was Sam's copyrighted code. The rest was built on top of it. Modifications. Extensions. But all dependent on Sam's foundation. Can we remove it? Rewrite it? We'd have to rebuild the entire analytics system from scratch. That's 3 to 4 years of work. What if we just keep using it? Then we're infringing on a registered copyright. Sam can sue. Get an injunction. Force us to stop shipping the product. The CEO stared at the screen. Our entire business runs on code we don't own? Apparently. They called Sam on Monday. Sam didn't answer. They emailed. Sam's attorney responded. Ms. Torres is willing to discuss licensing terms. Our rate for discussion is $450 per hour. Please send a retainer agreement if you wish to proceed. They sent the retainer. The first meeting was on Zoom. Sam's attorney. Apex's CEO, CFO, and legal team. Sam, we'd like to resolve this amicably, the CEO started. I'm listening. We believe there may be some confusion about the copyright. Our position is that work created during your employment belongs to Apex. Sam's attorney cut in. The copyright was filed in 2019. It was developed independently. Your employment agreement at the time explicitly carved out personal projects. This is airtight. We've invested millions building on that code. With our client's permission. Permission that's now revoked. Michael spoke up. What do you want? Money? Sam leaned forward. I want a licensing agreement. Non-exclusive. Perpetual. Royalty-based. How much? 3% of gross revenue. In perpetuity. Michael laughed. That's $25 million a year. We're not paying that. Then stop using my code. This is extortion. This is licensing. You used copyrighted material without a formal agreement. I'm offering you one now. The meeting ended. Apex tried to negotiate. Offered a one-time payment. $10 million. Sam countered. 3% of revenue. Forever. Apex refused. Decided to try rewriting the code. Spent 3 months attempting it. Pulled engineers off other projects. Hired contractors. By August 2024, they'd made minimal progress. The code was too complex. Too interdependent. Meanwhile, clients were asking about product updates. New features. Improvements. All delayed. Because the engineering team was trying to rebuild foundational code. Revenue growth stalled. Investors got nervous. The board called another meeting. We need to resolve the Sam situation. We're not paying 3% forever. Then what's your alternative? Rebuild takes years. We'll lose clients. Miss our growth targets. Destroy the IPO. Silence. In September 2024, Apex reached out again. Made a new offer, 1.5% of revenue for 10 years. Sam countered, 2.5% in perpetuity. They settled at 2% of gross revenue for 20 years with an option to buy out after year 10 at $50 million. The contract was signed in October 2024. Sam's first quarterly payment, $4.2 million. Apex's total cost over 20 years, estimated $1 billion plus. All because Michael had said take it or leave it about an 80% equity cut. Let's talk about what actually happened here. This story is about the catastrophic cost of arrogance. Michael looked at Sam and saw an employee who could be bullied. Saw someone who'd invested 7 years and wouldn't walk away. He didn't see that Sam had protected themselves. Had copyrighted the foundation of the entire company. The take it or leave it ultimatum is a power move. It's meant to eliminate negotiation. Force compliance. But it only works if the other person has no leverage. Sam had all the leverage. Just hadn't revealed it yet. The tragic part? Apex could have avoided this. If they'd negotiated in good faith. If they'd respected Sam's original agreement. Instead, they tried to strong-arm their principal engineer. And lost $1 billion doing it. Sam didn't do anything illegal. The copyright was legitimate. Filed properly. Protected independent work. Apex had been using it with implicit permission. Once Sam left, that permission needed to be formalized. And Sam made sure it was formalized at a price that reflected the value of what they'd built. Alright, Tangled Yarns family, your turn. Have you ever protected your work with copyright, patents, or contracts that later saved you? Or have you seen a company try to bully an employee and discover that employee had protection they didn't know about? Drop your stories below. If this one resonated, hit that like button. Subscribe for new stories every single day. And remember, if someone says take it or leave it, make sure you can afford to leave. I'm Brett. This is Tangled Yarns. And that yarn? Officially untangled. See you tomorrow.